Hi guys, there's a lot that I want to talk to you today. Behind me is the beautiful skyline of Vancouver, Canada. So let's start because there is a lot that I want to talk to you about today. So I want to give you a brief overview what has happened in recent days, and today we want to focus on the conflict between Iran and Israel and its impact on the region. So as we all know, Iran is on the brink of retaliating for the assassination that happened in Iran, the successful assassination of the Hamas leader. Yes, guys, Iran is planning to retaliate against Israel. Hezbollah leader Nasrallah, situated in Lebanon and a proxy of Iran, also spoke today and delivered a speech in which he stated that Hezbollah will be involved in this action. He did not elaborate on the scale of the action that they want to conduct, but he said it would be quite intense and that Israel would be left standing on 1.5 legs. So that is definitely a threat. So simultaneously, guys, Hezbollah has attacked northern Israel today, and also quite heavily. So they are increasingly using a new type of kamikaze drone, that's what it's called, some of which have reached their targets. So they really did get through. So that is indicating that the Iron Dome of Israel did not function 100%. So what has always been believed as basically a Iron Dome that is untouchable, that will not be breached by anything, it's not looking too good for that Iron Dome. It should be noted that the Iron Dome is a sophisticated system that intercepts only drones that pose a threat to infrastructure or human lives. So they don't intercept the other ones, as it seems. So if the dome, so to speak, the software calculates that a drone or a rocket will land in a desert area where there is nothing, the drone or rocket will not be intercepted. I'm not sure if that is wise or not, but time will tell. But on the other hand, we also have to say that Israel attacked southern Lebanon today. It was targeting the Golan Heights and also flew over Beirut. So meanwhile, more happened. Hamas has a new leader. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. It's Yahya Sinwar, who was born in 1962, so not a super young guy. He has spent, that's significantly to note, he has spent 23 years in prison in Israel, where he was saved in 2004 through an operation that removed a life-threatening tumor. Wow. So he is one of the most aggressive opponents of Israel, and he was one of the masterminds behind the October 7 attack on Israel last year. That has basically started all the mess that has happened now. So Israel has already responded with an admiral stating that there is only one place for Sinwar alongside Mohammed Daif and the rest of the October 7 terrorists. So, yeah, others, like for example, the finance minister, have also commented, suggesting that the same procedure should be applied to Hassan Nasrallah, that's the leader of Hezbollah. So this shows that the situation is really escalating more and more, and it's so hard to believe that, you know, what is going on in the world, especially if you look at the scenery that's behind me, how peaceful that is and how beautiful. So can't we all coexist and enjoy the short life that we have on earth? Do we have to do this to each other for whatever reason? It's always hard to digest for me. That's what I believe. So more and more countries, even Islamic countries like Pakistan, are withdrawing their people from Lebanon and to some extent their embassy staff from Israel. They're urging their people to leave the Middle East for now. An attack from Iran is expected right now every hour. So everyone thinks it's imminent. Iran is playing an interesting psychological game. So they have indirectly announced the attack over the weekend. So this delay that's happening right now, of course, is affecting Israel because Israel has to prepare for it. That is, of course, hitting the economy of Israel very hard. And then, guys, you have to consider that on the other hand, there are increasing considerations for a preemptive strike against Iran as soon as signs indicate that an attack is imminent. So that's another scenario that could happen. So it remains to be seen how capable the Israeli intelligence service, Mossad, will be in predicting this accurately. Is it coming or is it not coming, right? So generally it is considered the best intelligence service in the world, especially with excellent connections in all countries in the Middle East. And I gotta show you something, guys, the green car behind me. This is terrible, terrible, terrible. If you're in Vancouver, they give you tickets a second after your parking meter has expired, and they're lurking there, they're waiting for you, and they have like their spies. If you're downtown, and let's say you pay for your meter and it expires at 3 p.m. and it's 3 p.m. and 10 seconds, they're calling the tow company. So it's like a money grab, big money grab. But that just on a side note, I just hate it. It drives me crazy because I know when I arrived here day one, my car got towed and I didn't know why. So will Mossad be able to predict an incoming attack accurately? Yeah, we will have to see. But as I just said, they're one of the best intelligence services in the world, and they have excellent connections in all countries in the Middle East. So we will have to wait and see what's going to happen. House Speaker Mike Johnson has commented today saying that if Israel is attacked, America must take action. And that is scary, guys. And now the wind is making me eat my hair, so I have to take a quick break. There is a newly built underground bunker in Jerusalem, and it's known as the National Crisis Management Center, and it is right now being prepared by the intelligence agency Shin Bet. So more and more Israeli officials, including Netanyahu and his entire family, are expected to retreat in that place anytime soon. Maybe they are retreating there as we speak. Also, President Putin has commented on the whole issue, and he has urged Supreme Leader Khamenei, I don't know how to pronounce that, to avoid targeting Israeli civilians in his attacks. It should be noted that Israel and Russia previously did not have bad relations at all, and I guess that's why Putin is saying this. So Israel had no significant issues with Russia. Possibly that is the reason for his statement. And on the other hand, Russia is a close ally of Iran, because former Defense Minister and current National Security Council Secretary Sergei Shoigu, he was recently in Iran discussing, among other things, the delivery of jets like the Su-35 jets. So this deal was already negotiated last year, but Iran is now pushing to enhance its Air Force capabilities. That's why they want to move forward with this deal, as it sounds. Currently, they are relying on American jets. So as you can imagine, this is not ideal in a conflict with the US, where they prefer not to rely on outdated equipment. So they're seeking more advanced fighter jets, highlighting Iran's dependence on Russian arms supplies. So this dependency is somewhat mutual, as Iran has supported Russia with drones in the Russia-Ukraine war. So this means the relationship right now is symbiotic. And we need to speak about Turkey again, because some Turkish merchant ships have arrived in Israel. So before this conflict, Israel and Turkey had significant trade volumes of approximately 4.5 billion US dollars. And since the tensions and the assassination, there has been a trade ban from Turkey on products to Israel, which was announced this year in early May. So there are exceptions for 3 months to manage dependencies from both sides, but then it's off. So the trade ban has affected both Turkey and Israel, and it demonstrates the challenges of these sanctions as seen with Russia. Same thing, where Europe has suffered the most from these sanctions and not Russia. And these sanctions were intended to punish Russia and not Europe. But, you know, if you sanction a country, especially like from Germany's point of view, that supplies a lot of your energy and gas, it's maybe not so smart if you're so dependent. We have to say that these sanctions are now also affecting Russia more and more, though Russia has been able to compensate somewhat with Asia and China to build on these trade relationships. So I believe that these sanctions are not effective and they're not achieving their goals. Instead, I think they're escalating conflicts and they're weakening the dollar. Because the problem that we have now, countries are reconsidering their participating in the SWIFT payment system and whether to continue trading in dollars. So there's the BRIC nations that include Russia, Brazil, South Africa, China, and India. And that indicates that a significant shift is happening, and that is posing a long-term threat to American dominance in dollar trade and treasury sales. So that is something to consider. It's not good. So what has happened in Gaza today? Israel has intensified their attacks today, including targeting a tent camp. So overall, the Middle East is moving to greater escalation, in my opinion. Nasrallah's speech suggested the first goal is not the complete destruction of Israel, although the rest of the speech was very aggressive and somewhat did indicate that that is the plan. So we know that Nasrallah's speeches are always intense and aggressive, and there's often a difference between his words and his actions. So it remains to be seen what's actually happening. But the supreme leader of Iran tends to follow through on his statements, making it likely that diplomatic efforts have failed and that an attack is indeed imminent. So Israel has then responded or announced that they will absolutely definitely respond should such an attack happen. And the US has been attacked yesterday. A US military base in Iraq was attacked, and that did result in a less than favorable outcome for the Americans. So this absolutely does not contribute to peace in the region. I would say rather the opposite. So I believe that the assassination of the Hamas leader that has happened in Iran was somewhat deliberate, so that it was really thought out. So Turkey prevented 2 previous assassination attempts, by the way, with their intelligence agency that has maintained good relationships with Hamas, and they're supporting political Islam, particularly under Erdogan. Turkey's good relations with Hamas indicate this. And guys, before it gets completely dark, I want to talk to you about one last development, and there's new developments regarding Egypt and Jordan. So they have said that they will not actively intercept missiles. So Egypt has stated this, for example, and Jordan has warned against using its airspace for drones and rockets. But if this does not happen, they will also not actively intervene. So this definitely indicates that there is a certain shift. So at the moment, Saudi Arabia will intercept, America will intercept, and the US will try to intercept as much as possible. Israel will obviously intercept, as the rockets and the drones are aimed at Israel, right? So we don't need to discuss this. But now we have to wait and see how large the attack will actually be. It will most definitely be carried out by Iran, the Houthis from Iraq, and ultimately also from Lebanon by Hezbollah. So you can imagine that this has quite a significant potential to really cause big trouble. So this could involve thousands. So the question is whether the Iron Dome and the support from the Americans, the Saudis, and the Brits will be sufficient. We will have to wait and see. So the situation overall does not look too promising, guys, because of the fact that Russia and China are clearly supporting Iran, and so does North Korea. So we will have to wait and see how the situation develops, with more updates to come from me, definitely. And guys, I have to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like this video, please leave it a like and subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you here very soon. And look at the scenery behind me. I'm here walking my 3 doggies and then off to go home and release the next video for my On the Pals with Silky channel. So thank you very much, guys. See you soon.